Two of the biggest names in the sport of rugby league. Wigan Warriors going for their 4th world crown. The Dragons their first in their first ever match on British soil.
So let's have a look at how these two sides line up here at the DW Stadium. And at fullback for the Wigan Warriors, you've got Sam Tompkins. Then it's Daryl Goulding. Martin Gleeson is fit. George Carmont, Amos Roberts. Really experienced halfback, international halfback partnership of Paul Deacon and Thomas Luluai. Now then, in the forwards, Paul Prescott comes in place of the injured Fielden. Mike McIlorum, Andy Coley, Harrison Hansen, Ryan Hoffman, and Sean O'Loughlin, who captains the side. And on the bench for the Warriors, Joel Tompkins, Lee Mossop, Liam Farrell and Chris Chewson. How will those youngsters stand up to what is going to be an intense atmosphere here at the DW? Coach is Michael Maguire. Now then, the St George Illawarra Dragons victories against Canterbury and South Sydney ahead of pre-season. Darius Boyd is at fullback. Then it's Brett Morris, Mark Gasnier, Matt Cooper and Jason Nightingale, Jamie Soward and Ben Hornby, the captain. Just look out for Soward if it comes to goal kicking. He's got one weird, cranky style, I tell you. Dan Hunt, Nathan Feen, can he add a World Club Challenge title to already his World Cup Grand Final and 4 Nations honours that he's got under his belt? Michael Wyman, Bo Scott, Ben Cray and Matt Pryor complete the pack for the Dragons. Then on the bench, you've got Michael Greenfield, Trent Merrin, Cameron King and John Green. Wayne Bennett is the coach. He's back in Australia because of family reasons. So Steve Price takes charge.
Tremendous chase from the kick-off, and it was Dan Hunt who felt the full weight of the Wigan onslaught, and there's a drop ball early.
Well, it's amazing they are really top-class professionals, but, you know, nerves will play its part in the opening 10-15 minutes.
Wigan then with a glorious opportunity, and it's with Luluai. He gets the ball away to Harrison Hansen. He is dumped to the ground, though. Solid defence on show there. Ben Cray over the top of Harrison Hansen. O'Loughlin finds Deacon. Here is Sam Tompkins. Down he goes, Tompkins. Here is Deacon.
Bo Scott all over the man. It's going to be a big night as well for Thierry Oliver, the French referee.
Here's the 18th man finding its voice. Luluai taking them on, trying to dance his way around the defenders. It's the last tackle here, shouts Thierry Alibert, and Deacon will hoist it towards the in-goal area. Oh, brilliantly by George Carmont. Fantastic try for Carmont. Wonderful start. He just plucked that out of the air. Plucked it out of the pocket of the St George Illawarra Dragons defender. First blood to Wigan. George Carmont tries in both games so far in the Super League this season. The oldest man in this Wigan team has struck goal.
Certainly ours came about by the mistake from St George. They spilled the ball, got them in a good position. The kicking game is ever so important. The defence is tight. Deacon superb. But what about the take from Carmont? We said that the Warriors had to get off to a flying start. Boy, this is Concord stuff. What a take from Carmont. Glided through the air, and did it please the coach? You better believe it.
You know, kicking the ball to the winger in an out of fashion in rugby league. The best sides kick it 15 metres in from touchline, and it was the accuracy of the kick really that's caused the problem there for St George. Jason Nightingale, the winger, sort of caught in no man's land. Did he come in to get the ball? It was Jamie Soward who they targeted, one of the smaller players, not one who spends a majority of his week practicing taking those sort of catches.
So Deacon has the opportunity here to add the extras. Deacon with the kick, and there we go. 6-0, Wigan in the lead, and it will certainly please that man on the walkie-talkie, Sean Wayne, man of the match in the 1987 match that kick-started this event when Wigan beat Manly.
Superb play. A lot of people raised their eyebrows when Paul Deacon came away from the Bradford Bulls, but he has been an extra dimension for the new coach, Michael Maguire, and that man has set this stadium alight. We knew that the Dragons would be slow to start. The error proved very costly indeed.
It's a great point that Phil makes. That kick landed right on Jamie Soward's head. So what he's going to have jumping against him is either a centre who's going to be bigger than him in George Carmont, or he's going to have a big back rower in Ryan Hoffman jumping down on top of him. Well done, Michael Maguire. Great tactics, great first kick to put in.
Gleeson, who's had an injury doubt about him all week. There is little Paul Deacon, who put that inch-perfect kick in. Good scampering run from Michael McAlorum. Here comes Andy Coley. They're making great yards, and the Dragons are caught offside. Referee Thierry Alibert, the Frenchman, making this a true international occasion. Wants a word with Nathan Feen.
I told you before the game kicked off, this guy just can do nothing else but niggle. And he's done it so effectively time and time again. That was more than a niggle, it was a real good strike over the top. Coley would have felt it. Well spotted by Mr. Alibert.
You know, I think they'll kick it goal here, Eddie. I was surprised initially that Paul Deacon was looking to kick the ball to the corner. But St George are a team that don't give points away easily. On average, they conceded 2 tries a game last season. That tells you how hard it is to get points when you're playing against such a mean defence. And Paul Deacon here, from 39 metres or so from the goals, should at least get the ball over the dead ball line, if not over the in between the posts.
I'm not so sure, Clarkie. I just get the feeling that St George Illawarra, they really are shaky at the moment. I reckon a quick kick into the corner, they could have conceded another try.
It's academic. They've taken the shot at goal, and they have 2 points, courtesy of the boot of Paul Deacon. I must say, Phil's argument's got something about it, because I was looking at the St George Illawarra Dragons players then, and a lot of them were blowing very, very heavily indeed. Wigan ahead then by 8 points to 0 early in the opening exchanges of this World Club Challenge, and Gleeson puts the ball down, holds his hand up immediately, scratches his head.
Well, it's the sort of tactics. When Michael Maguire first came to this club last year, the opening 6 or 7 games, especially at home, they were just dynamite. The wingers were scoring tries with so much glee because the quick hands across the 3-quarter line, and to be able to do that in your own quarter, that shows confidence, Phil.
Yeah, confidence, but the execution was around, and now the first test of their own defence here on the line. St George's side who love to get in their opponent's territory, come away with points.
Ben Hornby feeds the scrum, gives it to Darius Boyd, he pops it up to Soward. Boyd takes the return, Carmont's after him, Carmont gets him down again, close to that touchline. There is Nightingale scumpering away from dummy half. Lachlan shot out at the line to bring him down, finished off by Coley. Here goes Nathan Feen, back it comes, good movement, the ball goes to ground, but it bounces luckily for Matt Cooper. On his 200th appearance for the Dragons tonight, Matt Cooper. There's Nathan Feen, gets the ball away, and the big fellow, Dan Hunt, drives it in again, hoping against hope that he can take over from Costigan this year. Hornby, short ball, great pass, no it isn't, it's gone to ground, but there is chances here, they're in, tremendous try in the corner from Brett Morris. It was a dodgy pass, that went to ground, but Matt Cooper was able to pick it up and feed the ball out wide to Brett Morris. And this prolific try scorer, not least for the Kangaroos, 12 tries in 9 tests for them, and that's his 66th for the Dragons in just 4 seasons. Brett Morris has given St George Illawarra Dragons a little legging back into the match.
All came about by the error by George Carmont. Remember, it was from the error by the Illawarra Dragons that there's the problem. Sorry, Martin Gleeson dropped the ball, and then it was just went to ground. Just caught out there, Sam Tompkins, just drifted in slightly. But look at the quick hands here, that's a beautiful pass. I know it went to ground, but you look how they have the advantage. Someone was coming through on the second phase. That was great teamwork.
If we're going to win here tonight, I think the biggest defensive effort needs to come from Harrison Hansen, Thomas Luluai and Martin Gleeson, because St George are more successful on the left-hand side. Ben Cray is the centre where they will go to when they want to attack. If he doesn't get the ball, Darius Boyd around the outside and Matt Cooper. It's this left side for St George that we're going to need to guard very closely.
Well, it's a peculiar style that Jamie Soward adopts. Watch this. Oh, and then it's not the best kick. He's normally pretty good, though, is Jamie Soward, the all-time record point scorer.
Oh, tremendous defence. That was superb there. Ben Cray, he came in on the angle. They're trying to force Wigan down the middle.
And they're succeeding at the moment. McIlorum on the last tackle, straight into the arms of Boyd.
He positioned himself very well, Darius Boyd. If you watch Wigan's performance at Bradford last week, 3 times Michael McIlorum made that exact kick, and very often it found the ground and rolled along towards the try line. Boyd's positioning and research has taken it on the full and got his team back in the advance.
That's the second tackle for the Dragons. Nathan Fien waits again at dummy half, gives it to his skipper Hornby. Prescott got a hand to him, and then Harrison Hansen finished him off. Fien again. That's a good hit, though, by the Wigan Warriors on Matt Pryor.
Clever play, on the Dragons. They come to the blind, then they go to the open, then they go to the blind. They've got the offside penalty.
Start standing square, says the referee. Penalty to St George Illawarra.
I'm not so sure they'll go for the 2. I reckon they'll put this into the corner. And that is exactly what they are about to do. Just a little bit too eager to get off the mark there, the Wigan Warriors.
So a second big examination on the way of the Wigan defence, and Ben Cray drives it in. Hansen with the first tackle. Quick play the ball though. Nathan Fien down this side, and that is a great try for Matt Cooper. Well, they've been examined twice and they failed the test twice, Wigan in defence. The Dragons have found a way over the line on both occasions, and Matt Cooper marks his 200th appearance for them tonight. The all-time record try scorer. 103 now for Matt Cooper. He got a couple of tries on this ground for Australia in the test of 2005. And Matt Cooper has levelled the scores here after a perfect start by Wigan. They've conceded 8 points without reply. It might become 10 in a few moments.
Tremendous play. The build-up to this was quite superb. I mentioned the fact they go 1 open, back on the blind, 1 open, back on the blind. They did exactly in the build-up there, and you can see the weight. It was just a simple step off the left foot, and the upper body had enough strength there. You could see that the Wigan defenders are going out. All he knew was the cover defence. There was no way in the world that Sam Tompkins going to stop this fella.
Here we go, there's the marking time. And a little shiver. Then he settles himself, back he goes. That's better, that's a better kick. The first one was just a warm-up, and they lead 10-8.
Well, we've seen another example of the lethal left side that St George have. Nothing too complicated about what they did, and sometimes as a defender you can overread the situation and anticipate something that's going to happen that doesn't. We can expect Darius Boyd to get the ball and Cooper just to be a decoy. The simple pass executed at full pace took him over the line.
You know where that try came from? People got to give credit to Ben Cray there. He charged onto that ball, he skittled Andy Coley. Harrison Hansen did very well to make the tackle. That quick play of the ball set up that try. Disadvantaged the Wigan defence, allowed St George to pour forward. St George Illawarra to pour forward.
Nathan Fien's the dummy half. Here goes Wayman again.
It's important now that the Warriors just keep them down in their own quarter. They've got to try to force them to ensure that when it gets to the final kick, that it will be returned round about the halfway line. Positional sense is so important in this very, very hard game tonight.
Michael Wayman to his feet, plays the ball to Fien. Oh, it's good footwork from Ben Hornby. A real mess at the play the ball. Soward They're running it with Boyd to Cooper. This is where they think that Wigan are vulnerable. Cooper gets the hands free, finds Soward. Tompkins does well, gets him on the last, and that's the turnover.
But it shows you what the Dragons are capable of. Eager, we talk about that second phase. Every time they spin in and around the tackle, there's always someone there. And even if it's a ball that goes to ground, that second phase player is always backing up.
Steve Price, the stand-in coach for the great Wayne Bennett tonight, watching anxiously on, but the 8-0 deficit they took early will not faze them. They were trailing at half-time in the grand final, and they came back and won convincingly, 32 points to 8.
No advantage.
The referees brought them back 15 metres for a penalty.
Yeah, someone was taken out off the ball.
It was Sam Tompkins. A compressed St George defence was enticing Wigan to pass the ball out wide. Ryan Hoffman it is, he tries to get over the top of Jamie Soward. Eventually there are players to take him to ground, but you see the late tackle. Matt Pryor on Sam Tompkins according to the referee, and Wigan now a chance to strike back.
Well, the referee shouted no advantage, so...
Well, advantage is over once the ball is passed.
He said no advantage.
Well, he's made a mistake, I think.
It's Luluai. Wigan mightn't be complaining, they've got this extra set of 6.
Now this is the time where Sam Tompkins has to ask a few questions, join into the three-quarter line.
There he is, Tompkins. Always under pressure, of course, Sam Tompkins. Whenever Wigan play, whenever England play, and under pressure there, because lying on in the tackle, he gets the penalty.
Wait.
Yeah, they know the speed of this guy all over the place. Bo Scott.
Yes, Bo Scott couldn't or wouldn't get off him.
Well, he didn't want to. That's it.
Now, this is interesting. They are kicking again.
It surprises me. They haven't had the football for quite some time, the Warriors. And I just feel that they're letting the Dragons off the hook with this.
Do you think they're being... you were a bit critical, maybe?
No, I wasn't. I said they should kick for goal. I think
kick.
this is different to a Super League game, Eddie. I don't think points are
being
easy
very
to come by.
conservative with this, though, aren't they?
Well, I think that this is what you do in a World Club Challenge. When you go back to a game, I think Wigan won a World Club Challenge once, simply because Frano Botica converted more kicks than the Brisbane Broncos, perhaps about Penrith it was, actually. You know, the Wigan did it at Anfield 20 years ago. It's a tactic in these games, Eddie, that applies.
Well, has Deacon managed it? No. They will get the ball back, of course. Could have done with that, Wigan. It's 10-8. St George Illawarra Dragons. They drew with Saints in Cardiff, 16-all. And they comprehensively defeated the Bulls last Sunday. They were 26-0 up at half-time at Odsal. But they're into the swing of the Super League, and as I say, the start of the NRL season down under is still 2 weeks away.
It's a huge dropout, that, Eddie.
Oh, they've got away with it.
Well, they have got away with that, because that looks desperately forward. Carmont is on his way! Carmont gets the try, and it's his second. Remember, he can't go for a forward pass on the video referee, but that was a questionable pass at best. It was flat at best, forward at worst, and somehow it's come up with a try for George Carmont. As an Englishman, of course, we don't complain, but George Carmont's second try, he has started 2011 like a youngster, the oldest man in the Wigan business.
Well, it was a beautiful dropout, and you can see they had the numbers, but it was a very tight defence. They're into a sliding section there, and they're coming far too deep. Carmont just threw it. Jamie Soward took the dummy. He had the speed to go over. Well, the St George Illawarra Dragons had a little bit of luck. Remember when Brett Morris scored, it wasn't the best pass, it went to ground. That's exactly what's happened, and Deacon has added the 2.
Yes, he doesn't miss those in front. From 10-8 down to 14-10 ahead in the blink of an eye. Interesting footwear for Sam Tompkins tonight. I'll tell you about it if I get the opportunity. His boots are made for walking. They're also made for making money as well. Let's see if I can get that information to you. If this ball goes over the line, I will. So here we go. One of his schoolmate sons, little Bailey Foster, sadly born blind a couple of years ago. He's trying to help raise £40,000 to send him away to China for pioneering operation. Well, the boots tonight that Sam Tompkins is wearing will be up for auction, and you should visit the club website for details, or go to www.baileyfoster.org for all the details. Those boots are made for making money and winning a World Club Challenge.
Oh,
The ball is lost. In fact, the ball is stolen.
Hansen has been the man picked out by the official. Mr. Ali Bear didn't miss that. You can see that Hansen is wrestling, and he just pulls it away. Not the smartest. Given away at least 25 metres.
Yes, Howard deposits the ball into touch and will restart. That's Bo Scott, picked up and turned over, put on his back.
Impressive though, isn't it, by the Dragons, the way that they interchange. They go to the left, then to the right. They just try to confuse the opposition defence as much as possible. And that man behind to play the ball out of Nathan Feen, he really is controlling things exceptionally well.
Hornby gives it to Darius Boyd. Here they come, down this side again. Oh, they're making hay. They are making hay down here. It's a second try for Brett Morris. Every time they come down the left-hand side, they get in for the try. That is obviously the area that they believe Wigan are vulnerable, and on the evidence of this, they are.
And it's all about
Morris's second try.
It's all about having a system in your attacking plan that just keeps making your defence go one way, back way. It creates what we call confusion, and then when you know that someone's just out of position, look at that. You can't afford to allow Nathan Feen to run across the field like that. Not the best position there. Daryl Goulding really should have stayed with his man. He's too important a player as Nathan Feen to be allowed to run on the arc, but this guy knows how to finish. Got it down. They tried the damnedest. Perfect pass. Look at that. Hornby running onto at pace. And what a great finish.
You know, every team in Rugby League almost attempts that play. Every single one that's playing now in the Super League and the NRL, they just execute it with greater timing. And I suppose when you do like that, it makes it very, very hard to defend when it's done with that sort of precision.
Well, the Wigan crowd doing their best to put him off. Successful with one, he missed with the other, and he has missed with that one. 14 apiece though at the DW Stadium in Wigan.
What's important here, Eddie, as well, is having a fullback at the end of this play that's able to throw a ball accurately and hit the right man. Hit Brett Morris, wonderful finisher. Some valiant efforts from the Wigan defence, just not enough. But having a fullback capable of throwing that last pass, we've got a few of them in Super League, probably not enough.
I think that Michael Maguire has got to change his defensive tactics as well. You can see there they were trying to squeeze in, and they just caught Daryl Goulding out in a no-win situation. He knows he's got to get back to one thing: man-on-man marking whenever the visitors get anywhere near the Warriors' line.
What they're doing, though, is they're stripping them short of numbers. These decoy runners, or these lead runners that are going through for St George, are confusing the Wigan defence, and they're having to tighten up a bit, and that's leaving them exposed out wide. It's just very, very good play at the moment from St George Illawarra.
Yes, they're up to speed, aren't they, after half an hour, as we thought they might. They started a little scratchily, a little slowly, but very much back in the hunt here. Nathan Feen.
You're right, Eddie. I thought it would take at least 30 minutes before they started to get any sort of rhythm, but I must say they've got all the balance. They've got the kicking game, the chasing game, very, very good indeed. Okay, they were caught out once when Carmont went racing down the field of play. That was the only real bad positional play we've seen from the Dragons' defence tonight.
Amos Roberts getting to his feet. Interesting that we've never yet in the history of this competition seen a hat-trick of tries scored by anybody. Well, we have George Carmont and we have Brett Morris now. on the verge, because they've both got 2 tries in this first half. Just notice Sean O'Loughlin, the Wigan captain, has come from the field. That is a concern.
Mark out 15, come on.
I agree, Eddie. Very unusual.
Tactics, can you?
Not really, no. Liam Farrell's on though, and he was an outstanding player for them in the back half of last season. The first chance for people in Australia to see what a good 20-year-old Wigan player looks like.
That was a poor kick.
Well, Phil, you mentioned that Nathan Fien does not kick the way he kicked before for New Zealand. Thomas Luluai doesn't kick like that for New Zealand either.
Come on! Wait! Andy!
Well, there were more mistakes than I anticipated in this game. And more.
Cooper to his feet, plays the ball. Fien is there. Second rower is Ben Cray.
He's good.
Now hold on a second. You watched last night's game and you're complaining about mistakes. This is a joy to behold.
I agree with you.
Okay.
We're being hypercritical tonight. We were just critical last night.
Sharing the workload, aren't they, the Dragons? And you can see they're in a very, very good position. The way they brought that ball, mainly due to the fact that it was a poor kick, straight down the throat. Can't afford to do that.
Gaznia, once upon a time, he was on Maurice Lindsay's shopping list for the Wigan Warriors. And Soward with the kick, inch perfect, finds touch over on that far side, and they will hunt the mistake deep in Wigan territory.
Great tactics. Stand off, Jamie Soward. It's like a mosquito just buzzing around, just being irritating.
Don't forget move. Means move.
And they're quite happy to do that, Steve-O. That's a position that Jamie Soward could have put quite a good attacking kick in. They're more than happy to punch it into the corners, let it go dead, form the scrum, and try and bash Wigan into a mistake. Wigan do the very same tactic, you'll see it.
Come on, guys.
It's just the kicks haven't been as accurate as they have we've seen in the past.
Come on. Nathan, come on. Side tight. Out.
Gleeson cannot make any progress forward. The substitute Trent Merrin saw to that. Oh,
That's a penalty. Well spotted by the
it was a
official.
high shot.
Well, he dragged the ball out as well.
He's penalising for the high shot on Lee Mossop.
Yeah, that's how he drags the ball. Talking of someone who's irritating
Nathan, keep it down.
and that was penalised, can often do
What's the
that.
second time? Go.
Got to concentrate. Got to make sure that the discipline is good from Wigan. They've got to start camping down now. They've got to get them into a good position and apply pressure. Been a long time since they've done that.
Luluai attacking the line, finds Deacon. Good ball back to Tompkins. A buzz around the ground when Tompkins gets the ball. He's found Liam Farrell. Luluai again. There is Mossop. And he'll run it at the defence. And Tompkins shouting the instructions. He's waiting for the possible offload here from brother Joel. Doesn't come. But Wigan pretty close here. Good ball underneath the sticks. Good defence though from the Dragons.
Great work by Greenfield. He went low, stopped the certain try.
Here's another pinpoint kick from Deacon. No, it isn't.
Well, it's pinpoint if you've got a relative in the stand. It's a real poor kick, and the coach there, Michael Maguire, will be disappointed with that. He would have wanted a little bit of a dribble kick into the in-goal area. You've always got a better chance if you put it to ground. Put it in the in-goal. Even if you don't make a mistake, at least you may get the dropout underneath the stick.
Well, the first one was brilliant, wasn't it? The first.
It's his forte, Eddie, you're right. He's an accurate kicker, and he had time on that.
He measured it too.
He'll be disappointed. He gets another chance, he'll correct that.
Here's a penalty for the Dragons now. Interference. 7 penalties, 4 for Wigan, 3 for the Dragons. There's the third.
Well, he just got him in a headlock, and any official anywhere in the world will get you for that. We spoke about the discipline being a key factor, and again it's allowed the visitors into a very good position.
Well, we saw Sean O'Loughlin leave the field. Let's find out about him, Bill.
Eddie, it doesn't appear to be any problem with Sean O'Loughlin. He's sitting on the sidelines. He's not had any treatment. He's just had a word with Chris Radlinski when he came off, but I think that was more about how the game is going. Maybe it's just to conserve energy, hoping that Wigan can come strong later as the Dragons tire.
Well, that's a great little dink over the top. That's very well watched by McIlaurin. They tried to roll him over the goal line. And Morris and Tompkins having a bit of an argument and a push and a shove. Wigan here on their own line. The Dragons are piling in. Vital moments of the game here just before half-time. Wigan need to get out of this danger zone.
Well, if you want to win the World Club Challenge, you've got to come up with special players. And Michael McAlorum, a hooker who's been on the field for 37 minutes and been involved in so much of the physical hard work, has Coley offloads to Carmont.
Great ball from Coley. Carmont then brings the man back on the inside, Amos Roberts. He is pulled down by John Green. This is Ryan Hoffman. Hoffman thought about the offload. They've got out of the danger zone. This is the last tackle. The kick from Tompkins is right down the middle.
That's better. What's the chase like?
Well, they're being roared on. Joel Tompkins.
Good stuff.
He made the half challenge and Mossop finished off. Here is Darius Boyd.
You've got to muscle up now. Really get into them. Don't go quickly. Don't give away the penalty. Squeeze that ball out if they can.
Wayman making good ground despite the attention of three defenders. Danderville quickly.
Major setback for the Wigan Warriors, and a gamble has backfired because Martin Gleeson has been replaced. Chris Chewson is on. It was always going to be a bold call to pick Gleeson because of this problem that he's had, hamstring injury. But as the strapping comes off, it's obviously a gamble that hasn't paid off for the Warriors.
That is a massive blow. A massive blow for Wigan and Martin Gleeson. He was a doubt all week, apparently. And now that means that they are one-man light in the interchange department.
And it's a good job, as Wigan concerned, that Nathan Feen put on a poor pass. Mark Gasnier was coming back on the inside. They're catching now in and around the play-the-ball area. The Dragons are really gaining in confidence. If it had taken that Gasnier, he would have been away.
Four forwards on the bench for Wigan as well. You get the feeling that Sean O'Loughlin might have some work to do.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch Joel Tompkins now. Joel Tompkins looks to have moved into the right centre position. He'll be marking up against Cooper. Very, very competent centre. And Joel will have his work cut out for him.
With the ball back on the inside from Carmont to Roberts. He keeps the movement going to Tompkins brilliantly. Sam Tompkins running laterally has escaped the clutches of a couple. He can't get away from the next one in.
The problem is he was going across the field, but no one was going to go with him. Nice step. Good work by McAlorum.
Great quick play the ball. This is Liam Farrell.
Someone coming back on the angle. They need it. Oh, he's gone for the kick. They've got it.
He's got the second set. He's got the second set. A glorious chance for Wigan. Coley. Wigan want to get on with it quickly. McAlorum, drop goal. Well, it's anything for anything tonight from Wigan. Tompkins with the drop goal. That was on the second tackle, wasn't it? A bit early in the set. But they're deciding whenever they get down there tonight, they'll take what's on offer.
You're absolutely right, Eddie. That's it.
And that maybe is the reason why. There's the half-time siren.
Well, he's done the right thing. He knew that there were only seconds to go. The defence was getting back for the Dragons well, and it may be only 1 point, but boy, when it comes to the end of 80 minutes, that could prove a very, very big bonus indeed.
Okay? Yeah, ready. Hold on tight, guys.
Soward gets us underway, second half. Luluwai's underneath the kickoff. Here comes Andy Coley, and Wigan are 80 minutes away from an historic fourth World Club crown.
Be interesting to see the tactics now of the Warriors. Will they just play safety first, try to get good field position, get the kicking chase game away?
Move! Hold! Go.
There's McAlorum, had a great first half. Deacon, whose kick unlocked the defence early.
Move! Hold! Go,
McAlorum again will come this way this time, and he finds Mossop.
5!
That's the last tackle, this opening set of 6 of the second half. And they're running it here with Carmont. Oh, that was played at, and that's over the line off the knees of Nightingale. This will be Wigan's head and feed. Well, there is the gamble that suddenly has paid off.
Well, I don't think he made contact on the first place.
I think he did, Steve-O.
On a 20, yes.
Sure, and he would
There.
find it. Oh, yeah, maybe just touch the There's a golden opportunity now.
Strange decision to try and... what's the best he could hope for here? I mean,
don't forget, move means move.
Going to trap that ball.
I think he was trying to kick the ball back onto the inside, into the field of play. Didn't come off.
Nice variety though from Wigan, Eddie, on the last tackle play, not just giving it to the traditional kicker, a Deacon or a Luluai, offering something unusual, and it's giving them more ball.
Here is Deacon. Deacon to Luluai. Luluai attacking them up the middle, and almost through was Liam Farrell. Sam Tompkins. Here is Luluai. Wigan looking to press home their advantage in this second half early.
Good angle run there by Andy Coley. They've got to do more of that.
McIlaurin. Oh, and it's a mistake by Mossop.
Wasn't the best pass. Michael Maguire not too happy with that. Golden opportunity. Mossop raises the arm, but you can see it was going up towards his head. Could virtually jump, and when you do that, no thrust with the legs.
Keep an eye on St. George's tactics now. Do they try and exploit Joel Tompkins out there? What I will say is, if Joel Tompkins does get the ball in attack, he is a handful, and Matt Cooper will have his hands full trying to stop Joel Tompkins, but it will be interesting to see how he fares in defence.
Over 24,000 inside the ground tonight. It's near capacity. They have not been let down, the attendees. It's been tremendous from the very first whistle. And here is Michael Greenfield. He hasn't featured in the NRL, this fellow, since the 5th of July last year. Let's get down to Bill, half-time news.
Well, the big concern for the Wigan Warriors at half-time was the fitness of Martin Gleeson. He's back out on the sidelines. Right hamstring is heavily strapped. He's stretching that hamstring, which has tightened up towards the end of the first half. He's moving around, and the word from the sidelines says he could return for the Warriors. Looks as though it'd be some gamble, but Wigan will be desperately hoping that they can get him back on as this game continues. And the word from the St George Illawarra Dragons is the message to their players at half-time was they are 40 minutes away from history, making history for their club, and then 40 minutes away from one almighty party in Hong Kong on the way home.
Well, Bill has mentioned the fact that Martin Gleeson perhaps wants to come back on, but I think that's going to be a very bad move by Michael Maguire, as Steve Price knows it's tense, only 1 point adrift. I don't think they can take that gamble. Martin Gleeson, remember they were attacking that side, they sent aside and they put him under a lot of pressure.
Talking of pressure, Wigan are pressing. This is the last tackle though. Luluai to Deacon, and again a measured kick from him. It's a bit too far though. This time it's easy for Nightingale.
That was interesting to see how the Dragons made no attempt to apply the pressure to Deacon. They were quite happy just to stand back and say, okay, let's see what you're going to produce. Good hit by Coley.
It was a very good hit by Andy Coley.
Look at that. They just stood off and they said, okay, let's see what you're going to do with it. Now that's confidence in your outside three quarters to defuse any kick. Especially after the fact that it was Deacon's kick that created the first try for Carmon.
This is Ben Craig, the Dragons player of the year in each of the last 2 seasons. And Sauer, straight down the middle. Tompkins is after this. Tompkins pouches it. Roberts is there in support. He moves away from him though.
That was great defence by Wigan, you know. They applied that pressure. They kept the Dragons way down in their own half. And that's why they should get over the halfway line. But it's pretty strong defence. Boy, I've been impressed by this fella, John Green. Through a lot of work.
If you look back at Wigan last season, Eddie, you'll notice that they start games particularly well, start halves particularly well, even in the second, and they've done the same here today. It's what they've put them ahead so many times, put some pressure on their opposition. When they carry the ball, they're making more metres and finding a far quicker play of the ball than the Dragons at present.
That was Luluai's little run. A bit of a possible chicken wing there, wasn't there, by the second row, Ben Craig?
That's a great kick.
That's going to stay in the in-goal area.
Unbelievable kick. Got that in numbers. That'll go in the first. That'll lift the spirits.
Now then, Wigan have to keep them down there once again.
Beautifully weighted kick. Had the numbers there.
Luluai, the magician for Wigan at times. Game's finally balanced, isn't it?
Certainly is, and
It's on a knife edge.
it's been a great battle, you know, between the two hookers. They've been outstanding for either side, McAlorum and Feen.
Now then, there's something here.
That's play on, according to our interpretation
No,
of the
he's
rule.
wiping the tackle count down, Thierry Alibert. It was played at, is his interpretation.
Well, it's amazing. We had a try given, didn't we, last night, doing the same sort of tackle.
First, Momendi, quicker! Hold.
Nathan Feen once again. They're over halfway now. Good hit. Chris Chewson was involved in that, so too was Coley again. Jamie Sauer trying to jink his way down the middle.
One of the few occasions we've seen the standoff ask a few questions. He's got a great step.
Boyd pops it up to Mark Gasnier. Gasnier eventually is brought down on tackle number 4. There's Ben Howard. Feen helps it out wide to Ben Cray again. He goes down on the last. Problem there for Gasnier. And now it's with Sauer. Oh, lovely angled kick. And he's appealing the St George Illawarra player, Ben Hornby, that he was taken out off the ball then.
Well, it's certainly contact. Just waved away by Mr. Alibert. Well, I suppose according to the laws of the game, if you're running in the same direction, you can use the shoulder charge.
Prescott will try and work this away. Ooh, he nearly lost that out the back. Deacon, good ground being made here. Suddenly it stops on the last. Tompkins will hammer it downfield.
It's straight down the throat of the fullback, Darius Boyd.
And he'll take it back for the Dragons. Oh, and it's a good arcing run as well. Now the play to Brett Morris, to Ben Hornby, I beg your pardon.
Great play. Dragons out there. I'm afraid the Wigan defence, when they moved up and then they shifted. It's all right having a slide in defence, but you've got to make sure you slide, and they failed to do that. They've got good progress now.
Nathan Feen was the dummy half. The runner here is John Green.
Now then, will Feen go on one of his runs?
No drop.
Yes, he will. He thought about the pass, but he went for a little run. Brushing off the would-be tacklers with apparent ease there was Dan Hunt. Sean O'Loughlin, the skipper's waiting to come back on. Sauer, oh, a mistake.
Bit sloppy.
And that's good defence. They were under pressure. St George had plenty of ball in that half. Wigan have defended that very well.
Move! Hold right first, yes.
Yeah, overrun the man.
Second.
Very rare you see that from the Dragons. They're well organised.
They were appealing then that Amos Roberts knocked that ball on for the Dragons. McAlorum gives it to Deacon. He goes wide to Lulawai.
Oh, he went for it, didn't he? Hornby.
They got away with that. Golding has swooped on the loose ball.
Did well. Goulding knew he didn't have the pace, so he made sure he stepped back onto the field of play, made sure the possession, which is vital.
And the referees wipe the tackle count down, so that's the first tackle. It's a chance here for Thomas Lulawai.
I think we'll see more of that from Lulawai now. He's done a good job, hasn't he, Mike McAlorum, but Lulawai jumping into that half-back position can make them hurt.
There's the switch of the attack. Tompkins so nearly escaped them. Quick play the ball though to McAlorum, who will run the line. He'll give it then to Mossop, and Mossop is held up. Sensational Dragons defence again, but Wigan on the front foot. Here is O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin booming past to Roberts. Back inside, and they keep the movement going. Was that forward? No, says the referee. Deacon. That's the last one.
Will it be the grubber or will they go high?
They're going high to the side, looking for Daryl Goulding, missing Daryl Goulding and everybody else.
Well, it's end-to-end, isn't it? If they turn defence into attack, Sean O'Loughlin, not a bad option. But Brett Morris is pretty good under the high ball. Pretty even contest. I think Michael Maguire will be pretty satisfied with the start of this second half from Wigan.
Didn't look like it then when we just saw him. He wasn't very, I think, convinced about the end of that set.
I think you'll get nothing. That doesn't change all 80 minutes.
I know, but Michael Maguire perhaps a bit critical of the fact that Daniel Goulding had come away from the touchline. It's always better to come into the field of play, and he was having to go back.
Dragons in possessions with Gaznia, who looks like he's shaken off the knock he took earlier on. They are looking to become the 5th NRL club to win the World Club Challenge. Brisbane, the Roosters, Manly and Melbourne twice, previous winners. Referee has penalised Prescott for a high shot.
Just keep it down.
And it's just those
He's on the line.
things, lack of discipline.
I am on the line.
You're all
It's the same line
hyped
in
up.
Australia or in
Want to
England.
make sure you want to cut the man
That's right.
down, but he's relieved the pressure, and he knows it too. And not surprisingly, the Dragons are not rushing this. They've soaked up the pressure.
On the line,
The
guys.
defence has been solid.
Sean, 10. Wait. Go.
So here they come again with Bo Scott.
52 minutes into a game, Eddie. We see number 19,
Out. 10. Call.
Cameron King, coming
Call,
on.
10 meters.
A youngster, former junior Kangaroo. Big expectations of him. Can he make an impact now in the remaining half an hour?
Well done.
There he is, yes, he's only 19, Aussie schools and New South Wales hooker at that level. Boyd, forward was it? Well, no, the referee said it wasn't. And so here is a chance to play on.
Come on.
But again, the Wigan sliding defence being caught out. Surely they've got to get that sort of go man-to-man when it gets anywhere near the danger zone.
Loose pass, but it stays with the Dragons. In possession here is Bo Scott. He will play it to Cameron King. Goes in field and finds Dan Hunt.
Son, move forward. Come on.
King again, he's weighing up the options, left and right, goes left. Hornby then finds Darius Boyd, and an interception possibility for Goulding. Just couldn't take that in.
Yes.
And boy, was that a huge gamble.
Quicker on your right. That's fine.
Been caught out a couple of times. If you'd have missed that and it bobbed over, Brett Morris would have been in for the hat-trick and create history.
But Daryl Goulding believes he would have been over the line at the other end had it come off. I think he would have done too, because Goulding, he scored for fun last year. 29 tries in all.
Wasn't it from that very same play that we've seen Wigan score so many tries and Daryl Goulding get over the line so many times? But St George in a great attacking position now.
They are with Sauer, who he shrugs off the challenge that came in from Deacon.
Well, that could have been a flop as well. They were late going in.
There's King. Now, this big fellow, Dan Hunt again, makes good meters forward. Look how close they are to that line. King will spin the pass out wide. Hornby and Cray. Thought about offloading. Thought better of it. Hornby again pops it up. This is John Green.
Now then, let's see what confidence he's got running through the blood of this fella, Cameron King. Will he go on a solo?
He does! He does, and he scores! Cameron King. Steve-O called for it. Steve-O picked it. The Wigan defence didn't. Well, he's only 19. He's on the field for a matter of minutes. It's his biggest night. He made a debut for the first team against Souths at the end of last year. And he has come up with the try that inches St George Illawarra Dragons ahead once again. The audacity of youth, 19 years of age, and his first try, as you see, at this level for his club.
The quality of a youngster coming through and making a mark is whether psychologically you can actually handle the pressure. This was a knock-on from Daryl Goulding, gave them the set of 6. Threw the dummy, and the youngster was there. Is he confident? You bet your life he is. That's a wonderful effort. Little shimmy, good upper body strength. They really should have stopped him, but he was that determined.
Another one off the Dragons production line. Another one off the NRL production line down there. And Jamie Soward now should not make any mistake with this, and doesn't. It's 15-20. The Dragons edge ahead.
Okay. Play on. Move on!
Luluai
Danny's
on the last.
Boyd is deep. They've gone for length rather than chip.
Play on 10 meters.
And it bounces kindly into Jason Nightingale's arms.
You do it.
Wipes the tackle count down again, the referee is Hornby. Well done, Joel Tompkins. The ball, though, has gone backwards. The Dragons still have it. Great run from Morris.
Tell you what,
Pressurised run.
it was good work to get him through, and he got the ball away. That was superb, wasn't it? But, you know, Daryl Goulding took a knock there in back play. He was dazed, he came through, and yet he put his body on the line to affect the tackle.
Gaznia. Great ball, well taken by Nightingale. Brilliant hands. Brilliant to Bo Scott.
Super stuff.
Release. Second.
Gaznia waits dummy half. This is Soward. Now Nathan Feen attacking the line. Gives it to his skipper Hornby. Boyd, great stuff. And this is Cooper. And Cooper is in touch. Tompkins to the rescue.
They shouted him all the way down on that left-hand side, and they had to as well. Kept with him. Great stuff. Good work by Thomas Luluai as well. He was tracking back on the inside, so that there was never any chance of that ball being brought back into the field of play.
That's great work from Joel Tompkins. You know, Matt Cooper's a much experienced international centre, and Joel Tompkins has done very well as a back rower, playing out of position in the centres. Shadowed Matt Cooper all the way, dragged him into touch. Wigan got to play this ball quicker. If they want a chance to get back into this game, they've got to play this ball quicker and charge up the field.
Wigan being pushed back, and the second rower, Bo Scott, not getting off the grounded player quick enough for Thierry Alibert's liking.
That's manna from heaven as far as Wigan's concerned.
They were dominating the tackle, though.
I think it was a bit tough on him there. Once he was in that position, the only way he could get back off him was to climb up slowly there and stand back in the right position.
Well, we have seen, especially last year from Sam Tompkins, is that ploy of wriggling around, pushing here, there and everywhere, just confuse the official. But they've got to make their mark now. They've got to get into the opposition half and really apply with a good kick and chase. But something a little bit different. They've got to, you know, even the chip over. I know I keep calling for it, but this defence is so solid.
I've never heard you call for it.
Now then, there's something maybe on here for Hansen.
Got to penalise that.
Well, he said play on, and then he said no, release, and the crowd were on his back, and the referee went to the whistle. Then he said play on.
Well, Bo Scott had a second go anyway.
But he wasn't held, Steve-O. That's what he said. He said
What do you do as a player? What do you do as a player? And the referee says no, play on, release.
Well, Wigan know the script here. It's penalty, try. That's what they need here now to lift the fans and lift themselves here in the last 15 minutes.
This is Luluai, and Coley will drive it down the middle. A couple of very, very harsh penalties blown by Thierry Alibert has given Wigan this opportunity with Deacon, who finds O'Loughlin, who bullets the pass to Tompkins. Carlmont for the hat-trick, no, gives it to Roberts. Roberts! Held up short. Plenty of tackles left, though, for Wigan. McIlorum, Deacon, Luluai, Tompkins, wide they go. Joel Tompkins. Great sliding defence from the Dragons. It's with Sam Tompkins again. Grubbers the kick in, looking for O'Loughlin. Just too long.
Great option. Just a little bit too strong, and the coach knows it too. If you're going to pierce this defence, you're going to have to put something like that through, but They shattered it. They got to tackle for their lives now.
Don't give a penalty away, not here.
One goal low. Try to big hit. Try to dislodge the ball legally.
Well, whichever of these two great sides wants to be World Club champions tonight, they've got about 13 minutes left. Wigan to rescue it. St George to clinch it.
Move, Dan boys, Sean. Come on.
Fiend was the dummy half. Good hit by Carmont. He felt that, did Ben Craig. Soured. Now then, can Tompkins begin the response?
Oh, that is a great chase. They came as a unit, and then they bent it round like an umbrella defence. There was nowhere for Tompkins to go.
The scoreboard against Wigan, and time is becoming their worst enemy as well, as O'Loughlin takes it forward for them.
Free, move.
McIlorum, Deacon, gets the arms free, finds Sam Tompkins. Tompkins, great feet.
We play
Exciting.
the ball, that's what's needed. That should be a penalty. He's lying all over the place. He's Gasnier. They've got away with it.
Luluai brings it back up the middle again.
Move. Foul. Hold.
Deacon, shaped a kick, drilled it inside then to Carmont, who flung it over his shoulder. Luluai, they wanted it wide, they have a man overlap. Tompkins gives it to Goulding, and Goulding just couldn't find a way through.
Just a touch too strong. But this sliding defence is near perfect, isn't it? They know each other's position. The Dragons really work hard for each other.
They were just a little rushed in that last tackle option there, Steve-O. They had enough players. They've got Deacon on the field, they've got Luluai on the field, they've got Tompkins on the field. They've got enough players there to organise that last play. They just looked a little rushed.
Well, they can see, as we can see, the big screen and the clock at the bottom of that screen saying they've got 11 minutes left for play.
That's plenty of time to score a try.
It is. Look, it's below the 11-minute mark now. Boyd gets it wide. This is Cooper. Oh, great hands to Morris. Morris. Oh, what about that? What about that? An ankle tap.
Was Tompkins?
It was Joel Tompkins, wasn't it?
It was, and he was beaten. He was out of position.
Drop goal from
one.
Soward.
Yes.
He's kicked it.
Smart thinking. Well, full credit to Joel Tompkins at least. He found himself just coming out of the line and then had to turn around. He just clipped the ankle. That was superb. Yes. But it was to no avail because of very, very smart thinking, stand off. Jamie Soward said, we'll take the one.
It's kept them in the game. Joel Tompkins' effort, though, has kept Wigan's hopes alive. Might be less than 10 minutes. They will need to convert the try if they get it to take the game into golden point, but they're still alive in this contest, and they need to keep thinking that way.
That effort from Joel Tompkins, that comes a result of what they said has been the hardest 2 pre-seasons of their life at Wigan, the last 2 pre-seasons, and the energy and the fitness that you gain from those sort of pre-seasons allows you to put an effort like that in.
They're losing ground a little bit. The Dragons, Wigan piling in, looking for a mistake.
Oh, that was high.
It was high from Coley.
Yeah, got away with it.
Quickly, Bill.
Just some bad news for the Dragons ahead of the start of the NRL season. We saw Cameron King coming off, and the word is from the Dragons dressing room he's torn a pectoral muscle, and that's news they don't need. The young rising star of the side will certainly not be fit for the start of the season by the sound of things.
And into this match tonight without grand final hooker Dean Young, St George Illawarra Dragons, so a bit of a problem. They might go home with the World Club crown, but they might go home with it at a cost. But Wigan have got 8 minutes.
It is a shame for the youngster Cameron King, but he could very well prove to be the man that's helped them lift the trophy. That dummy run try change the complexion of this game. Wigan now, they've got to test their arm, they've got to try something different.
I think Wigan looks strong here. I back them to get a try in this last 8 minutes.
Carmont. Almost through. Quick play the ball. Luluai. Crowd screaming for a penalty. He's not coming. Deacon. O'Loughlin. Tompkins wide. Joel Tompkins wide. Goulding. He went into touch and they will start again. St George Illawarra Dragons.
Asking an awful lot of Daryl Goulding here to try and finish from out there.
Penalty, high tackle. Penalty, Ryan.
Well, to be fair, Phil, there were 2 previous tackles by Wigan players. First one was Coley, and then it was McAlorum in the build-up to that, and it should have been a penalty to the Dragons. So it's 2-1.
Second, move forward.
They're digging deep, aren't they? The Dragons really are.
Yes, they are.
They're sharing the workload, and that's good to see.
They want a hat-trick of NRL wins. Manly, Melbourne, now the Dragons. Have Wigan got something in the locker in the last 7 minutes? They're hunting the mistake from Darius Boyd.
Will he take the gamble, Michael Maguire, to just send out the message and say, hey, come on, Sam Tompkins, don't play at the full-back role, you've got to start taking it as though you're playing as a standoff.
Well, he's got it at full-back. But it's a great chase. They come up in such a straight line, don't they? So tight.
It's an Australian style. Oh, good work from the dummy half. Pryor.
Roberts for Wigan. Gets them to halfway. Tackle number 3.
Sam Tompkins, as I say, he's got to make some sort of impact. That's a beautiful inside pass, but it's also a great tackle yet again from Wayman.
And it's hurt Tompkins. He's down. Maybe a touch of cramp. Last one here for Wigan. Deacon will hoist the kick. I think that's too long. That's far too long. Oh!
Did he touch it?
He's out of play.
Tell you what, the referee blew his whistle before that hit the deck, that ball. He thought this was going to be diffused. He's definitely played at it. It's a goal line dropout.
Well, he's played at it. Has he touched it?
Yeah. Left fingernail.
I tell you,
Third digit.
as that happened, the referee's whistle blew.
And then he changed his mind because he was pointing to the 20-metre mark.
Soward's asking him to have a look. He's asking him. Soward has asked the referee to have a look.
I think he's done it, Eddie, to try and buy his teammates some time. They are out of oxygen. If Wigan can find a way here now to, I think the offload has to be the way. Somebody support the man with the ball here. Tight support.
Great goal line dropout over halfway. Back they come with Lee Mossop. Luluai. There's Farrell. McIlorum. O'Loughlin. Deacon. Finds its way to Carmont. Scramble, scramble, scramble. By St George Illawarra Dragons. Here is Deacon. Oh, and he went for the return and missed it. Went to ground. That could be curtains.
Yeah, it was a sloppy inside pass.
It's okay, have faith. They'll get the ball back. They'll get the ball back and a chance to attack again.
They haven't really in this second half, Brian, and you can see that from the fact that it's 15-21. They haven't really looked like they're going to penetrate this defence. We haven't seen breaks like this. And Morris is on his way once again.
He's had a great game. He's had a great game, hasn't he, Morris? 2 tries on his way. Had a chance for the third as well.
Nathan Fean gives it to Darius Boyd. There's Gasnier. Roberts is after him. Roberts has pinched it!
Listen to this crowd. It looked as though the hope had faded away. And the spark has reignited them.
Maybe Wigan's last chance.
Creative play by the fullback Darius Boyd. He's not going deep. He knows that they've got to try something like that chip over or a kick through.
Carmont. Ooh, the ball went to ground. It was picked up quickly by Hoffman.
Dan, 10.
Tompkins, he wants it. He's screaming for it. Will it come off Deacon? Deacon will take first.
There is Deacon. Here is O'Loughlin. There is Tompkins. It's open up for Tompkins. Oh, was he taken out? Was he taken out? The referee with
Yes, he was.
work to do.
Just can you check for the contact,
He's doing
please?
the right thing, Sam Tompkins. He's staying down. He wants to milk it as much as he can.
He just wants the video referee to have a look at this. He surely
Yeah,
can't be
of course he
thinking.
has.
It's just a penalty to Wigan,
It's a
though, isn't
penalty.
it?
He can't be thinking what I'm thinking. He's thinking.
No,
penalty to Wigan.
not a penalty try.
Where the ball bounces. Where the ball bounces. 22 metres out.
You can claim that, Eddie.
I'm not trying to. I'm just
Oh,
saying to
you
you,
were
I
saying-
hope he's not thinking
you
what I
were
think he's
suggesting.
thinking.
Don't even go there. Penalty to Wigan.
Absolute. Listen,
It looks
have you
worse for
read that
Darius
book?
Boyd when you slow it down.
It's just a penalty. There's no doubt
is.
about that. But why is he asking the video ref to look at
It's a
it?
penalty.
He was right
because
on the spot.
He moved across and it's a late charge. There's a penalty, yeah. Come on, okay.
It's about 22 metres out, straight in front. No, it's where the ball lands, isn't it? Wherever it rolls on is irrelevant. It landed there, Eddie. The ball landed from the kick where he stood at the moment. That's where the penalty's awarded.
First bounce.
Look, just to short of the 20 metre line.
Now then, they've got to bring the big fellas up.
Well, look at the clock. And listen to the crowd. And this is Deacon. And here is Tompkins. He gets the ball away. Coley! Well, they're all over him. There's another penalty.
Yeah,
Sinbin.
he's got to.
Time off. Come on.
He's got to say.
Don't.
Professional foul if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely.
Don't, because it's a try. It's near the triangle.
At last
Quick
you're on my
left.
side.
I was suggesting penalty try a minute ago, according to you lot. Here we go. This is Mossop. Luluai's there. It's O'Loughlin. Hoffman will drive it forward again. Less than 3 minutes to go. O'Loughlin going for the line, and he's held up.
Gasnier got underneath him. He prevented the arm from coming out. Referee nearly took a tumble. It's all happening.
Luluai. Oh, a dreadful pass. At the end of it from Amos Roberts.
6 seconds, come on, 7.
He can't believe it. It's a pass when he wasn't even looking at the man that was supposed to receive it. His eyes were going straight forward. That is a schoolboy error.
Guys,
And that could be
come on,
curtains.
quicker.
And those curtains are coming together. And they could be closed out. This was a kick through. This is the penalty.
Come on, Adin. Say tight.
Oh, that was the chance.
Yeah, but he wasn't looking at the man. You've got to follow the ball with your eyes there. I mean, I know you can try to fool the opposition.
Move.
Well, Amos Roberts might just have...
They're still going to get another chance, Eddie. Don't give up.
Might have...
Have some faith. Have some faith. Look, there's over 2 minutes left yet.
Well, they need to get this set of 6 over and done with quickly.
You know, the Dragons are incredible. What is it about their second half performances that they prevent their opponents from scoring a single point? You'd want to somehow copy or replicate whatever they do at half-time in that 10-minute rest that they get in the changing rooms.
It's the last tackle. They're going to get the ball back, Wigan. They're going to get it back just 20 metres away from their own line. And the chase from St George Illawarra Dragons is magnificent again.
They've sent the message out to Darius Boyd, make sure you don't go deep. Got to be in a sweeping roll, and that's what he's doing.
Move quicker.
Carmont and Michael Maguire really wants this World Club Challenge. But at the moment it's slipping away from him. Now then, Carmont. Oh, he got the ball inside, and Farrell. It was a big play, it didn't come off. They've just
Full
rushed
credit.
it at the last minute.
Yeah, but full credit for trying. They knew they had to keep this ball alive. They've got so much experience out there of the Dragons. They know it's up to jumper time, and especially with the man there, Nathan Feen. He really has orchestrated this game.
Yeah, it's tough. They're doing it with Ryan Hoffman in the left centre position and George Carmond on the left wing. Nobody outside of George that time.
Oh, that ball's come free. Oh, it's a penalty, says Thierry Alibert. It was stolen from them. And they're hugging each other on the field while we watch this. St George Illawarra Dragons know that they have won this World Club Challenge.
Well, Paul Deacon realised that he had to try something. With the second sticking away, it's all smiles. But their performance in the second half, their defence, the quality, they've worked hard together. You've got to say they fully deserve to lift the trophy tonight.
There's the full-time siren, and Jamie Soward just pumps the ball into the stands, and St George Illawarra Dragons go home with the Pro Biz World